Dan Delmar in for Aaron for today. Trudy Mason here tomorrow, and then Aaron is back next week. The story was kind of sad when I read it on CTV News today. Quebec's children are worried about the rising costs and writing letters to politicians. And sad, obviously, because a lot of kids are experiencing a lot of anxiety related to their financial situation at home. But kind of sweet also because I learned that this woman, the National Assembly's educational programs advisor, she empties these letters and she forwards the messages, files them away, forwards them to the MNAs concerned. And so that way our leaders are hearing directly from Quebec children. I think that's really interesting and neat and sweet, frankly. I mean, it's great that we listen to our children. We now have a children's commissioner in Quebec for those that are having trouble at home as well. So it's nice that we're listening. But how do we talk to children and prepare them for what could be an even worse year financially? We don't know. I mean, it could go in either direction. We hope it's better. But how do you talk to kids and help them deal with financial stress? Our guest now is Dr. Serra Poirier, psychologist at the Montreal Children's Hospital. Dr. Poirier, hello.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. Do you see a lot of this around in your everyday appointments? Do you see a lot of evidence of that financial stress in the background?
Yes, unfortunately, we see a lot of stress about finance and also anything about the future with environment. This is a very common theme for kids and teenagers.
And what are you seeing in terms of conditions? Is it creating anxiety conditions? Is it that bad?
I mean, the kids I see, the patient I follow, already have different condition, and this is adding to their stress. But I think it's something that most kids are struggling with right now, and I think it's great that they're taking this kind of initiative to write to the MNAs, and it's helping actually decrease anxiety when you try to take control over the situation. It might help them feel more empowered than not doing anything.
What are some of their complaints specifically? Is it, we're not buying the same groceries we did before? We had to move a couple of times in the last few years. What are they complaining of?
What I've been hearing is mostly fear towards their futures. Their future about like their ability to, for example, purchase a house. I haven't seen yet so much about their current situation, but mostly some fear about what's the future holding for them.
Okay. And what do you say to kids who are feeling financially anxious? What are some of the first words to reassure them?
Well, I think the first thing starts at home, and parents have to be very careful and mindful not to discuss their financial issues in too much details in front of the children. We need to preserve them. Obviously, they are aware. They see what's going on in the news. They might have seen certain things changing at home. So we have to be careful in the way we talk about it. Answer their question truthfully, but also protecting them by not sharing too much of our own anxiety and our own struggle.
And certainly fighting, not having the kids witness fighting over money would go a long way.
Oh, absolutely. This is absolutely something we should avoid around finance or anything else. Parents should try to avoid fighting in front of their children. It's okay to discuss, to have not be in agreement all the time, but we definitely don't want to be fighting in front of them.
One thing my parents did, I recalled when business dipped or when things were a little tougher at some point in the 90s, someone turned to me and said, well, what do you think? Do you think we should go on this vacation or should we just stay home this summer? Is that too much pressure for a kid? Because part of me was like, it's a lot of pressure. Why don't you guys decide? And then another part of me was like, well, thanks for asking, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I think it might be different depending on the children's age. So if they're young, I don't think it's something that they're able to really understand and grasp. As older teenagers, they might be able to be part of the discussion. but it is a certain burden to put on their shoulder. Preferably, we could present them with other type of activities, try to make it fun with things that we can do that are less expensive, and explain to them that this is what we can afford. But what our children are looking for is to share good memories with their family, share a good time. It's not necessarily to be traveling in very expensive place. It's the time that they spend with us. So I think it might help parents also to keep that in mind, that as long as they are making sure to have a good time, giving them time and attention, it's already a lot.
When should you start educating your kids about money and saving and things like that?
Oh, we can start very young to explain to them, have a little saving account or a little bank in their home where they can save some money. I think as soon as they can understand, around, let's say, 5 years old, we can start explaining, you can save money to buy something you like. These are very good skills to learn at a young age.
Dr. Catherine Serra Poirier joins us, a psychologist at Montreal Children's Hospital. What other kinds of issues are you seeing frequently now with kids? I'm guessing social media and internet addiction is coming up a lot.
This is a big issue. Social media is taking too much space, and also the teenagers are reporting that they feel very dependent to it and that they would like to decrease the time they spend on social media. They don't feel good about it, but it's very hard for them to decrease. So I think they need some support from parents and school to be able to limit the time they spend on social media, to pay attention to the content, to what they are looking for, also what they're looking at, what type of content is very important. Help them, sometimes what I do with patients is actually screening through their Instagram account or their TikTok and asking them, how do you feel when you look at this? Does it make you feel good, or does it make you feel bad about yourself or about your future? Does it make you feel anxious? And sometimes they say, yeah, I don't feel really good. I work particularly with a teenager with eating disorder. And sometimes just looking at those content elicit a lot of suffering. So encourage them to delete those kind of things and follow things that are fun.
See, that must be frustrating, especially with that eating disorder example, because you have sites like TikTok that are programmed to shove that content in front of the face of a young, vulnerable person. And in China, they have a special version of TikTok that screens a lot of that stuff out for young kids. But here, they give our kids the same version that everyone else uses. Yes,
I think this is a big discussion that we have to have as a society, is how do we help our children manage social media. This is something that they are able to name as a source of suffering, and they need our help because this is fairly new. And it's been increasing with the pandemic and the isolation. So they need our help, and I think we have to have policy at a higher level as well to help around that.
Dr. Catherine Serra Poirier, psychologist at the Montreal Children's. Thanks so much and Happy New Year.
My pleasure. Happy New Year.